Everybody, it's Monica with your best female figure, and today I'm finally back with a workout. It's a 20-minute workout that you can do. So this is what I'm going to be doing when I am traveling in Australia for 2 weeks. I decided to take all the gear that you see in the video here. So the reason I decided to take all this gear on our trip is that we're not going to be doing as much hiking and swimming and kayaking and stuff that we normally do on our trips because we are going to see a lot of family. So we're going to be spending a lot of time with people, sightseeing and doing that kind of typical like touristy kind of stuff, which is not the usual trip that we take. So I have to fit these workouts into my day somehow for the next 2 weeks because when I get back, I have two shows that I'm scheduled to do. One is the first Friday when I get back, and then the other one is the following Thursday. And both those acts are very physical and they require me to look very lean. And so I can't be cheating on my eating too much, and I can't be slacking off on my workouts or just basically like trying to wing it and see if, we get some activity outdoors. I have to be doing this every day. So I'm taking all the stuff that you see here, and the sandbell is kind of still up in the air. I'm thinking I really want to take it, but one thing I don't like about it is that it's a real pain to empty of sand, and then it's a pain to fill it back up. It flattens really nicely, and it's not that the sand doesn't go out of it easily. You have to shake it a lot, and it just creates a lot of dust in your face. And I've been really sick lately for several weeks now with terrible allergies and laryngitis, which you may be able to hear in the video. I apologize for that. So the sandbell is not my favorite piece of gear to deal with in terms of setting it up, but I do love working with it so much. You can do swings and lunges and presses and toss it and so much stuff. Now the ball is a little bit more convenient in terms of filling it. So the black valve lets the water in and out, the white valve lets the air in and out, which is underneath. And that ball also completely flattens and folds up really nice and flat. So it's not going to take up a lot of space in my suitcase. And you can see that you can do lateral lunges, and later I'm going to be doing roll up squat thrusts with it and other things that you'll see later on in the video. So this one is a lot more convenient to fill up because you can just fill it up at the tap, or you can fill it up with a hose or even just a pitcher of water, and then it empties out really fast. That's the one thing that the sandbell does not empty out fast. You have to be just kind of shaking it the entire time. It also doesn't fill fast. Plus you have to go find sand somewhere, which we are going to be at two beaches, a couple of beaches in Melbourne and Sydney. But so yeah, I don't know. I might not take the sandbell. We'll see. The ball is definitely going. So are the gliding discs and the booty bands and the Pilates band. So some tips on this workout that I'm doing, which was my workout today when I filmed this, and is going to be very similar to the workouts that I'm going to be doing while I'm away. So tip number one is don't worry about following a routine when you're on vacation. Take a break from whatever routine you've been following. Obviously, if you're not following a routine, forget what I said and get yourself a fitness plan from my website and start training with a routine, because if you don't do that, you're never going to get the body that you want. But if you are like me and you follow a routine that is right for your body type all the time, and you've been doing that consistently, when you're going on vacation, you don't need to do that. But because you already know so many different exercises, you can just do a giant circuit and just vary that circuit every day. And that's going to help to maintain your endurance, maintain your metabolism. It's going to burn fat and calories, and it's going to keep you looking toned, and it's also going to keep you strong and flexible. So all those things are what these exercises do. And it only takes 20 minutes. And also it doesn't take a whole lot of time, not just time, but it doesn't take up a lot of space. So you can actually do this in a hotel room. You can even do it in a room where you're staying. I used to have a teeny tiny dorm room when I was in college that was smaller, probably less than half the size of this room that I generally film workout videos in, and I could still do all this stuff in there. So don't think that if you're stuck in a tiny room, you can't get a great workout. I mean, if you don't like working out in a tiny space, then just go outdoors. Do it in a park or out back at your friends, wherever you're staying. um, I prefer not to work out when people are around, and I just want like being alone. So I would do this, first thing in the morning and then get on with my day. That way I'm not tempted to skip. I'm not going to skip anyways because I really need to be in shape when I get back. Um, Tip number 2 is when you're doing random circuits like this that you're just kind of making up as you go each day, make sure that you're including every single body part in your workouts, that you're not neglecting any body parts, and also that you are moving from top to bottom continuously throughout the workout. So don't just do a bunch of legs and then do one upper body thing. And don't just do a bunch of upper body stuff and then just do one leg thing. So we kind of tend to be like that because we have preferences and things that we like. So when you're doing random workouts, it's easy to, overlook some of the things that you don't enjoy doing. But try not to do that. Try to include your whole body and try and shift from upper to lower body so that you're getting work, from top to bottom throughout the entire workout, because that burns more fat and calories. And it's just also more challenging for your muscles. Always leave your kind of core work that you do, if you do anything really specific, towards the end. So never fatigue your core or your glutes at the start of your workout, otherwise you can get injured. So that's another tip. Um, the other thing to do is set a time limit. So when you're traveling, you probably don't have a lot of time. All it takes is 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on what kind of day you're having. Aim for those amounts of time and make it as intense as you can in that time frame. So I'm sure there'll be days when you'll only be able to fit in 10 minutes of stuff. Then there'll be days when you'll be able to go a little bit longer. Be flexible with what you're doing. So don't have your mind set on something and then if it doesn't work out, you just give up. So that's one of the things, even at home, that really works for me and keeps me consistent every single day for the last 30 years. I had to think about that, is to be flexible. If you're having a bad day and you're busy, you're stressed, whatever's going on in your life, and you only have 10 minutes, guess what? 10 minutes is better than no minutes. And it's going to keep your metabolism from kind of cycling down. Another tip that I have for you is don't go more than 2 days without exercising. I wrote about this in my vacation workout tips article, which is up on the blog. It's also going to include this video with all the exercises that I was doing and instructions for you to follow the circuit. If you enjoy it and you want to follow along with me, you'll be able to just mute my annoying voice and put your music on and follow along. So more than 48 hours though without exercising basically tells your metabolism to just slow down. That's why I don't ever go more than a day. Sometimes if I'm not feeling that great, I will go 2 days. My body will tell me when it needs, me to not be exercising so much. For the most part though, I go every day. I'll skip a day here and there just for recovery purposes. I still will do something easy like mobility or stretching, which brings me to another tip that I mentioned in my article. While you're traveling, you're stuck on a plane, you're stuck in cars all the time, whatever other mode of transport that you're getting around in. Maybe you're walking a lot to sightsee in a city. Your body gets tense, and especially if you're carrying backpacks, like, if you're hiking or just sightseeing and you're carrying a lot of stuff in your bags, your body will get really, really tense, which is bad because that lowers your energy levels and it messes with your posture and it just doesn't make you look or feel that great. And then when you get back home, you're like, oh, I don't, you don't want to get back into your routine. It's harder to get back into your routine. So try and fit in some kind of stretching every single day. It doesn't matter if it's just 5 minutes, and if it's only one or two things that you're doing. I'll be posting probably a lot of stretching kind of stuff while I'm away on both Instagram and Facebook. I may also post some exercises and try to upload video to YouTube with my phone. It just depends on our connection and our kind of phone situation. We're going to be out in the country um, a few days of each week, so it's not going to be the most ideal situation in terms of like upload speed. So I'll do my best. I always try to post stuff from my trips the last few years. I didn't used to a long time ago, but now I kind of enjoy sharing, what I'm doing when I'm out. So another tip that I have is to kind of focus on exercises and workouts that kind of match your goal of what you're trying to accomplish. So right now my goal is to look really lean for my 2 shows that I have when I come back. So I'm not trying to, build a ton of booty muscle. That was a goal that I was focused on before. I was also focused on gaining weight. So I was kind of being a little bit more lenient with my carb intake. That is not the case right now. So I have to train certain types of exercises, do a few more of those kind of higher impact fat burning moves. And also be careful with my eating. So I can't just go hog wild. Oh, I'm on vacation. That means that I can abuse my body all I want with, alcohol and junk food just because I'm away. That stuff is not good for you in terms of relaxing, and that's why you're going on vacation. So you're going on vacation to relax, and then you put all this strain on your body with bad foods and alcohol and just, really poor sleeping habits on a nightly basis. That stuff can really take a toll, and when you get back, you'll find that not only are you a little bit bigger than you thought you would be, but you'll just feel so lethargic and out of shape, and it'll be really hard to get back to your routine. So, just do your body a favor and try and follow 80/20 while you're away too. So I've written about 80/20 a whole bunch, and there's a link on that vacation workout tips article to 80/20 eating, what that means and how to do it. And if you need more information even from that, then there are other resources that you can follow there. Again, that link is on the article that is posted right now on the blog, where this video is going with all the instructions for all these exercises. So I don't know how many dozens of exercises I've done already, but there are dozens more, hundreds of exercises that you can do with all these pieces of fitness gear. So another tip that I have for you is to get creative. So sometimes you have to mix 2 pieces of gear together for an exercise to be more effective because you're using less weight. So I'm not going to fill that that water ball to 60 pounds. And I also don't have my, 15-pound dumbbells. I don't have my 25-pound dumbbell. And I've recently been using a barbell with a considerable amount of weight to rehab my neck and my upper back. That's another thing I've been working on lately. So I'm not going to have all that stuff. So I have to get creative with how I use my equipment so that I can get that same strength effect that I'm trying to get from certain exercises that I'm doing for functional purposes. So if that's something that's important to you, then just think outside the box when you're doing your exercises. There are a lot of ways that you can vary things to not only just keep it interesting, but also to really, stay focused with whatever goals that you have. The other thing I wanted to share is if you have trouble kind of sticking up for yourself when you're traveling, one thing that can help is to invite people to join you in your workout. So a lot of times when we travel with certain people or we go visit certain people, people tend to be very critical of our health and fitness habits because when they see somebody like you or me being really health conscious and active, it makes them feel self-conscious about what they're not doing. So really it's more about them than it is about you. And so people, family members, friends, whatever, can tend to get critical, and they can also, tend to want to sabotage your little plan that you have to stay fit while you're traveling. So, excuse me, one thing that you can do is to invite people to participate in your workout. Say, hey, I'm gonna, do some body training right now, because I really need this to so my back doesn't hurt. You can make up whatever reason that you like. I need to do these exercises because otherwise my back starts hurting. That's always a good one to use. Or because I have hip problems, and if I don't do this stuff that my therapist, I am an exercise therapist, by the way, so I recommended this to you, told me to do, then I'm not going to be able to get around much for sightseeing. Those kinds of things. Um, or even if you don't feel like you need to explain it, then don't explain it. Just say, I need to go work out. And if they give you a hard time, then say, would you like to come and do a workout with me? And then if they laugh, then say, okay, well, I'll be back as soon as I'm done. And that's it. You don't need to justify your healthy habits to people who are not healthy. And one other thing that I wrote about in my recent article on vacation workout tips is maybe after seeing you be consistent with your plan and be disciplined and not hug out on a daily basis because you actually care about your body, not just how it looks, but how it feels and how it functions, maybe you'll be an inspiration to somebody who was just waiting for somebody like you to come around and kind of, show them that it's not that complicated. It's not that hard. It just takes, consistency and a little bit of patience. And you never know, somebody that you're traveling with or somebody that you're going to go visit may actually say yes to you. Yes, I really do want to go get some exercise with you. Show me how, because they're intimidated to go to the gym by themselves. Maybe their spouse doesn't support them. Now they have an ally. So don't ever think that when you're traveling, you have to kind of shrink who you are, and hide, like, your healthy habits because other people are having a hard time accepting that. Be yourself and don't be afraid to stand up for, what you believe in, and you may find that you're an inspiration to other people. So anyways, after this workout, I did a little bit of practice. Um, so I will share that with you now, and I'll so this new act that I'm working on is a reverse strip. So I start in this kind of like mermaid looking pasties and bottoms. And then I do a few mermaid poses, which is kind of fun because I get to incorporate yoga into my act. And then I get out of the water, and I start to put on like a human person's suit, but I actually am turning into another creature. So um, the challenge of a reverse strip is that you have to make it look as sexy as you make a regular strip look, and it is a lot more challenging. I gotta tell you guys, I am still struggling with the choreography for this. This is very rough choreography. The only part that is actually really solid is the end where my friend comes in, which I'll show you at the very end. And the hardest part about this act is putting on the second leg of the cat suit and then the second boot. So the corset part is actually not that hard. And I'm just playing around right now with this choreography, so it probably will look a little bit different. And I love that this song I'm doing too is Breathe by Britney Spears. I would never think to do a song like that for an act. Pop music is not my thing, but I really like this song. At the end, I put on a gas mask, and then I finish the act with my friends. So I'm going to start walking backwards, and she's walking forwards, and she's also wearing a gas mask. And then we do kind of like a little tango. And it's very much a fetish act. For some people, it's very like kind of controversial or whatever. And that's the whole point of this act. So you can see it however you want to see it. You can see it as two creatures. You can see it as, some sexual thing. You can see it as whatever. So she's actually in front of me. So we're mirroring a lot of our movements and stuff. anyways, when this act goes up on stage, I will have more pictures to share with you guys. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll be back soon with more exercises and tips to help you get your best female figure.